Hi, this is Mrs. Clark. Welcome to my video on these boxes. You will see a worksheet that looks like this. I'm going to have you guys cut out around the outside like this. So I'm going to cut all around the outside, shaped like this, and then you're going to make a cut right here. This is going to make a foldable for us. I'm going to show you how to fill out the inside of it, which is this part, and then I'll show you what to put on the outside. So go ahead and cut that out. All where you see yellow is where you should be cutting, around the outside. Obviously not as sloppy as I drew it, but once you have that, pause the video, cut that out, and then come back to us. Alright, so I'm going to focus on different parts of this inside here. What I want you guys to do is focus on this part over here. Oops, sorry. Right now. Fill in this part. This first left part is going to be, this foldable actually is going to be for writing an equation for a linear function, so anything that is a straight line. So we're going to go over each part of the equation, and then I'll show you what to write on the outside. You've seen this before. You've seen y equals mx plus b. This is just a foldable that will help you understand each piece of that equation. So the y part at the beginning is your output, your dependent variable, your y coordinate, and if I'm writing an equation, that this stays a y. Okay, so go ahead and copy that down in that little same box that you see. Nothing in the top, just this part in the bottom. You can feel free to pause the video at any time if I'm going too quickly for you, so you can copy everything down. The next box is our equal sign, so that was our y. Y is our output variable, it's our dependent variable, obviously our y coordinate. The next thing is our equal sign, so this is really important that you write an equal sign anytime you're writing an equation. You must have that, otherwise you're not really writing what we call an equation. So that's the next thing, but there's no flap for this part, it's just this one little box. And then the next part is our m. M, we know, is our constant rate of change. It's also slope. It's also rise over run. It also can be a fraction or might be a whole number depending on what you are doing, what your rate of change looks like. So that's what we're going to write here in the bottom. If we're looking at the top, however, the top part you're going to put in a word problem, you're going to look for the word per, each, or every, and that's going to give you some clues, some context clues to find your rate of change or your slope. So that's going to go on the top part of the M flap, and then this is the bottom part of the M flap. All the different ways that we've talked about rate of change, remembering that it can be a fraction or it can be a whole number. So that's y. First part was y, then equals, and this is m. Next part is our x. X is our input, our independent variable, our x coordinate, and when we're writing an equation, it's always just going to stay x. And then we have our plus sign, mx plus b. This could end up being a minus sign. It really depends on what your b value is. If it's a positive value, it's plus b. If it's a negative value, it's minus the number. So we always say plus, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be plus. And then our last little flap is our b. Our b value is our starting point, our initial value, our y-intercept. If we're working in a word problem, it might be a flat fee. This can also be a fraction or a decimal or even a whole number. It could be positive, could be negative. So that's everything that's going to go on the inside. Nothing goes on the top here for this one. But then we're going to look at, after this is, so you cut all this out, then we're going to look at what goes on the outside, which is, we just talked about, which we'll do together in a second. So these top rectangles, I'm going to highlight them. This rectangle, these two, these are all going to fold down, and we're going to write on the outside of them. So go ahead and fold those down. We're going to write on the back side of them. I'll show you what it looks like overall at the end, just to help you out. But go ahead and fold those down. So you already have this. The equals and the plus didn't have any flaps, so they are already there from when we had it open and we were writing inside it. We're going to fill in the formula for slope-intercept form, which you know as y equals mx plus b. So that's going to go on the outside of the little flaps, and this is going to get glued into your notebook. I'm going to show you a picture real quick of my notebook. So here is what it will look like, the final result. You're going to glue it into your notebook onto the next page, right after the video that you watched on counting boxes and slope formula. This is going to go next. So it's after that green video paper where you had 4 problems that you practiced slope on, finding them from a graph, counting boxes, and using the slope formula. So this is going to go next. You can title it Slope-Intercept form. And you can go ahead and write that piece at the bottom if you want, the y equals rate of change x plus starting amount as well. Thank you for watching.